Here. Yeah, may I make your planning as easy as possible with these dulcet tones? Okay. All right. So here we are. Maybe if people want to like raise their hand or a reaction, is if this is your first time doing monthly planning with us, just some like general, cool, awesome. Okay, this is exciting. So the idea, obviously, Cave Day, we are really just thinking about how improving our relationship to work, working in a way that allows us to do our best work, our deep work, so that we can then make room for other things besides work that really matter for us, or bringing into the cave things that get pushed aside by other work. But really, the reason we do the planning is just to help us create even further senses of agency and empowerment around our work and our time. And often we find that part of that has to do with learning about how we ourselves, like it's a lot of it is like learning your own user manual about how you use time, how you set up expectation. And so it is kind of a fluid learning process. But that's really the whole reason why we include this as part of the cave, which is just we're constantly trying to figure out how do we improve our own relationships with time and work so that you can really spend your time doing what really matters to you. So on that note, I love to open up with just if anyone wants to throw in the chat 3 words for the month before, 3 words for January. Mine would be fits and starts. So it was a crunchy month for me. Did my best. Yay, Susie. I love it. Focused, recuperating, closure. Awesome. Nashville COVID. Oops. Yep. I get that. We had some COVID in our January. Way too fast. A whole year. Restful, then reentry. Down, up, down. Where'd it go? What was January? Pretty good. Can't complain. Ramp it up. Wild, productive, long. Month of transition. Where did it go? Frantic, poor planning. Whole 30. Easing in apprehensively. Made great progress. Sick and tired. Much better month. Yeah, pretty good. Created some new habits for writing. Really loving that. Congratulations, Bailey. Fits and starts works for Jess also. Scattered, fast, and fun, centering, recuperating, growth. Awesome. These are great. Raw, love, learn. Yay, Leslie. Thank you. All right. I love sharing these. Okay. So we are going to begin with 10 minutes of just looking at the previous month. The idea being looking at like what was working. You're going to look at your calendar. There are questions for you to answer, but just like really taking note of what was working, what was challenging. What do you want to bring into February with you? What do you want to leave in January? Those are just sort of some things to think about. But I will set a timer. We will do that. And then we will check in little breakout groups. And then we will move into February and our vision for what we want to bring into the month that starts tomorrow. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to enter a 10-minute sprint, a reflective sprint. So you're filling out just the first half of the sheet. The sheet basically walks you through itself, but you're going to stop where it says stop here. You're just doing the first column and get as far as you can. Some people can knock it out in 10 minutes. Some people will need to come back and need a little bit more time. I can repost the link. Yes. All right. So here we go. We're going to enter this little reflective sprint with a thunderclap. So go ahead, warm up your hands. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. You are now in the cave. Have a great little sprint. All right. Okay. So some of you might have shot through that column. Some of you might be like, I still have a lot of thinking to do. That's okay. This is, yours to use in whatever way is useful. But we're just going to we're going to get into breakout rooms and you're going to share something that stood out for you from January. And whatever that is, I think that was working, I think that wasn't working, just whatever is feeling particularly of interest to you as you did that reflective work. So we're going to go in alphabetical order, and you've got about a minute to share. And here we go. All right. Here come breakout rooms. 3, 2, 1. Okay, Jess, that's great. Yeah, they're definitely invitational, the breakout rooms. So, and if anyone wants to share in the chat what's standing out for them, if they want to opt out of a breakout room but would still like to share, that is available. Thank you, ma'am. I don't know if you guys can hear that robot talk, but she wanted to let us know it's going. So Sarah said, and I think this is so helpful and such a relatable feeling, which is that you can feel a little bit sad about how life isn't fitting into the boxes of your planner and wanting to cram it into the first week of the year. And I think that there is a really real, it's almost like it's like a letdown that's built into February of like January. You're like, it's a fresh year. I'm going to be a person I've never been before who does everything in a day and nothing's going to stop me. And I'll be the most efficient and productive. And then like life fully happens. And sometimes you're that person and sometimes you're the opposite of that person, but it's a lot of pressure that gets put on us sometime at the very beginning of a year. And then the end of the year, there's like senioritis and everyone's like, it's burning. Who cares? There's a natural sort of like academic, I think, flow to all of this. And I think like the more you can still set expectations, but like kind ones, I think that really is the whole point of Caveday is like, can you be consistent and kind with yourself by like handling the puppy of your mind and moving that puppy towards things you care about? Because the puppy can do the work. It just needs a lot of guidance. Like there's a lot of things trying to take its attention. And so I just think like, especially this practice of planning is really noble. And it's also worthy to be like, and it's okay if it's not going to look the way you're thinking about right now, but like, go ahead and envision the February you want. And then like, of course, life will happen. And it's not going to like a planner, like it's not going to look like this sheet, but this sheet is sort of like our sand art of like an idea of what this could be. And then life will be more vivid and beautiful and difficult than was ever possible on the sheet. So if that is helpful, I just think this kind of stuff can sometimes feel like, what's the point? Like flip the table. And I think it's like, you're creating space for what's possible and then being really kind when life shows up the way it does. Okay, I'm done. So here we go. It's time to do some dreaming about February. We've got 25 minutes and then we'll check in with each other and do a little open checkout. So let's do a high five. Pick a friend. They won't know you picked them. Some nice, good eye contact. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. So that's the end of our 25 minutes. So take a beat to find a stopping place. Okay. And you might notice in your sheet that there's a task list. Things that you left as open loops from January make their way onto the task list. It is just to try to help with some organizations that you can start to pull and use what you're finding there as like the next actionable things or things you need to get done so that you can then plug those into your calendar. We encourage you, if there's things that feel scary or like you're like, oh, I really don't want to do this, to book some caves and put those tasks in those caves. Let us support you in doing some of this hard stuff. And so we're going to do some breakout rooms to check out. We'll go back to our original rooms. And you're just going to share a mantra for February and an intention you're holding. I can model. I'm thinking about a version of a just do it or a just keep swimming, which is that the only thing worse than a bad draft is no draft at all. I just, whatever I can do to battle my own perfectionism. So I'm trying to frame it in a kind way, but just being like, even if it's horrible, it's better than nothing. So yeah, that's what I'm sitting with. Thanks, Em. All right. So I'm going to send us back to our breakout rooms. We'll go in reverse alphabetical order, share your mantra and an intention you're holding as you walk into February, something you want to kind of have light the way. Okay. Here we go. All right. So everyone's making their way back. Hi, hi, hi. All right. If you want to share your mantra, your intention in the chat is open. We're happy to hear it. Some people have been sharing. I can also, if you want to unmute yourself, if there's anything that you like want to share that you heard or something you're taking into February, we've got like 4 minutes to do whatever we want with, or if you have questions, it's really the space is yours. Love the things you say yes to. Yes, Kelly, that's awesome. Yeah. It has to be a heck yes. Oh, great. You had some great breakouts. Yes, Moe, there are monthly plannings every month. There's also weekly plannings that Jake leads that I think are live, but I know for sure there's a way that you kind of do them on your own. You'll find them on the forum. Sorry, let me keep going here. Divinely guided and protected all time for Kelly. That's awesome. I bring a sense of calm and joy to everything I do. These are great. Yeah. They're live on Friday. Yes. Thank you, Kate. Self-compassion and self-love is as important as compassion and love of others. 100%. And arguably necessary in order to really love others, which is a tricky one. This is play, not work. I love that. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Yes. And George Bernard Shaw. These are great. I really always love the idea of, and it's really hard for me personally, but like, what if every day is a Christmas morning? What if this could just be the best day? There's that kind of possibility, that like childlike possibility could be available on a Wednesday. It's definitely aspirational, but I'm feeling that in some of these, and it's really cool. All right, friends, thank you for being here. This was really wonderful. Thank you for being part of our community. Thank you for endeavoring to figure out a relationship with time and productivity. There it is. That is loving and life-giving. It's a really noble mission that we're on, I think. And I'm really happy to be on this adventure with you. So thank you for being here. This was wonderful. And without further ado, we're going to close it out with a high five. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I'll see you at the end of February. We'll do it again. Good luck out there. Bye.